honest, I won't keep this too long. And it's a privilege to be here. My name is Steve Lover. I'm at the Above Bar Church in Southampton. I've been a Christian for around about just over 3.5 years, and I'm here to basically share how I received the Holy Grace. I was born in Glasgow, as Frank has said, and I come from a very Sikh background. My mum and dad were relatively strict in their culture, and I was kind of made to go to the temple, Sikh temple, every other Sunday, and practice all the rituals and so forth. And however, I was very fortunate that I was involved in a boys' brigade, 15th Boys' Brigade, which is run by Mr. McTavish, bless him. But the problem was we only went there for the football, really. And Mr. McTavish was a very strict Christian, and he'd make us read a chapter of the Bible before we played. But the time we'd finished, it was time to go home, so it was pointless playing football. So anyway, that was that. My life of crime began at the early age of 13, and by the age of 15 I was sent to a hostel, my first very real encounter with the law. And my family were very ashamed, especially my mum, who kind of taught me right from wrong. So I kind of really felt terrible for her that she taught me really great loyalties and stuff, and I kind of went through it all the way. So yeah, that was it. So I come out, and before you know, I started drinking, and I met the wrong people and clubbing. I was young, you know, I was a good-looking guy, and I was doing boxing and so forth, and you know, I was kind of a jack lad at the time, and life felt good. So yeah, a year later, I was involved in a very serious fight, and I was very lucky. It was a very dangerous, it was attempted murder really, and which was dropped to a serious assault. By the grace of God, they halved the sentence what I was supposedly to get. So yeah, and after I was released, I started hanging around with my dad with his business, and life felt really good, you know. I thought, oh, yeah, money's coming in, and yeah, that's my dad, you know, and yeah, I could do this, you know. And so yeah, I was working away with my dad, and everything felt great. And 6 months later, my dad kind of fell ill, you know, and he died. I kind of was very lost. I thought, whoa, what's going on here? One minute I met my dad and everything's great, and all of a sudden, wow, he's gone. So I couldn't really take that on board, and before you know, I was just devastated really, and because I kind of formed a very close relationship with my dad, and for the first time. So yeah, and a year later, my young brother, who was 15, had a major heart operation, which was very successful. However, he formed a blood clot, and he also died. So yes, well, there you go. So before you know, I was kind of a semi-alcoholic, and started fighting and kind of taking my frustrations out of people, and whoever came there, I was there. And to me, there was I came to the realization that there was no God, and I started womanizing, drinking, and drugs, and many harmful acts that I started doing. And so yeah, my life was 1 minute from good to worse again, if anything, really worse. So yeah, it kind of fallen apart, and the whole family was broken. And a year later, my elder brother, who was 33, passed away. And yes, that was when I kind of went into very deep depression, and I thought, no, seriously, this is got to be a dream. This is not real, because there's no way that 3 people can just die like that. I mean, it just doesn't happen, you know. And so yeah, once again, there was a time I wanted to die, but kind of kill myself, and I tried drugs and stuff. But I suppose I just didn't have the guts really to go ahead. And so yeah, that was basically that. But somewhere I had the strength to ring my auntie in Southampton. to kind of tell her that what went, obviously she knew, but to tell her that we can't live here because everybody's mocking us, and we were just kind of totally lost. And so yeah, we decided to come here. My auntie gave it the go ahead, and we agreed. And I just want to thank my auntie for that, and how the Lord used her at the time. So we came here, and 6 months prior to being here, I really did. No disrespect to England, I don't want to be here because it felt so small and we're so used to space and so forth, and I felt very claustrophobic. I thought, I've got to get out of this place, and so I headed back to Scotland, where Glasgow, where I had left my girlfriend behind at the time. And so yeah, after going back there, I met her, and I proposed, and I said, listen, I think we should kind of get married. And so we ran away to Gretna Green to get married, and so I know this is very true. And I had like 6 quid, and I thought, hey, I'm rich, because when you're in love, that's a girl, and money was no object. But apparently we got there and we stayed there, and I remember we stayed there, and they said that we got to stay there 4 days, and I was heartbroken. I thought, seriously, 4 days? I mean, we ain't got no money to get home, let alone 40 days. How can I tell the girl to sleep in the car with me? This does not happen, I'm kind of a ladies' man and all that, and so anyway, we headed back to Glasgow. I took her back, and so on the way back, I just felt it right that I had to kind of come back to my mum, who I'd brought here in Southampton, to tell her that I had fallen in love, and I'm going to marry this girl and so forth. And cut the story short, I kind of headed back, and on the way back I had a massive car accident, which I found myself in intensive care in Newcastle General. So yeah, I was in general in the Newcastle for 6 months, intensive care, and I remember my mum coming, and my girlfriend at the time, and they'd never met, obviously being a British person, and mothers are like, hey son, you can have 10 wives, it doesn't matter, as long as my son is okay, and everything's great. And I thought, that's a good chance to get these guys together, So yeah, that's what happened. So after recovering 6 months, I saw this chapel, and I actually went past it a few times, and I thought I'd go in, and I went in and I prayed, and I said, Lord, I'm sorry that I kind of messed up, and can you help me really? I want to get better, and I want to go back home, and before I was getting healed, I was getting better, and I mean, I didn't have any intentions to really follow this man anyway, but I just said that to get better, and so I was covered with plasters from head to toe, and they said, yeah, you can go home. So I ended up going home, and I called my girlfriend at the time. We found a little bed sit in Southampton, and we just basically began to settle. So about 6 months later, I was opening the door of my room, and one of the chaps who lived there kicked me from behind. You must remember I had all these plasters on, splints and all sorts of stuff, and he kicked me, and I fell head first and on the front floor, and then I was kind of kicked in the face. And when you're kind of, it's kind of a survival, isn't it, really? Someone, you just kind of got to do something, haven't you? And I just kind of managed to grab his leg as he tried to kick me again, and I managed to get him down. And I saw a pair of scissors which were on the mantelpiece, and I got them, and I started stabbing this guy in the head, kind of various times, many times, in fact 50 times or something. And I remember all this white stuff coming out. I mean, I was just kind of a form of self-defense because I had these plasters on. Hence, I didn't have these plasters, I might have just done it 10 times. But anyway, I kept stabbing this guy, and my wife was screaming. His girlfriend came in, and as far as I was concerned, he was attacking me. I just had to defend myself. Anyway, he wouldn't move, and the ambulance came, the police came, and they were at the scene, and they asked me what happened, and I was kind of tired because I was kind of stabbing this guy, and anyway, they took a statement, and they took this guy away, and I actually broke down because I said, oh, what kind of monster am I, and what's going on? they come back the next day and they said that you are a very lucky chap, because hence being an inch either way, you're going down for life. And I was relieved, you know. I thought, phew, okay, I'll settle for that. And so yeah, my wife wouldn't talk to me for months, and I can't blame her, you know. She thought that I really want to be with this guy, you know. And 6 months later, we got together and we got married, and I kind of focused all my energy into making money. I opened a couple of shops, well, one shop, and I felt really good, you know. Money was coming in, and yeah, the money became a little bit power, you know. Power became greed, and